Hello, everyone. I'm going to talk to you today about panic attacks and the severe effects that come along with them. When people think of, I'm having a panic attack right now, most people just mistake them for anxiety attacks. Now, the two are very similar in terms of being immediately overcome with emotion. But the main difference between the two is when someone is encountering an anxiety attack, they are invoked by some sort of stressor. Whether that be tight spaces, high elevations, or even a crowded room. When someone suffers from a panic attack, they're overcome with unrelenting fear. There doesn't need to be any stressor involved. An individual can literally go from a perfect state of calmness to a trembling fear in the blink of an eye, and they won't even know why. To further go into detail of someone experience a full-blown panic attack, here are a few of the symptoms that they may go through. Their tear-invoking fear is not based on actual fear of something right in front of them, but a danger that could be, a what-if almost. Symptoms include hyperventilation, which is a rapid breathing because you think you're not getting enough oxygen and try to compensate by breathing rapidly. Dizziness, the individual gets extremely lightheaded and loses their balance. Tunnel vision, they lose their use of their peripherals. In some cases, people say they have chest pains, like they are having a heart attack. And then they're sweating. And the attack makes their brain release stress hormones, which in turn raises their body temperature, which makes them sweat. Now, these are just a few of the symptoms that could come along with a panic attack or even an anxiety attack. One of the worst things about these are the individuals disconnect from reality completely. And it's their imagination that runs wild that triggers most of these. Of course, I'm sure you're wondering who is at risk for these terrible things. Well, the truth of it is anyone is able to have one. They typically begin during the late adolescence or early adulthood. But small children and older adults have been known to suffer from them as well. To put things in perspective, roughly 4.7% of the world's population meets the requirements that they could be suffering from panic attacks, and 5.7% show signs of anxiety. Typically, people who suffer from panic attacks will suffer from some other kind of disorder. For example, someone who suffers from social anxiety may have a panic attack ahead of him or her speaking in front of a crowded room or giving a speech. Unfortunately, there isn't any guarantee that someone can overcome these things, but there are a few options out there that can help cope with and in some cases eliminate them altogether. First option is diet and exercise, cutting out caffeine, nicotine, and alcohol. Exercise in general is usually beneficial with whatever circumstance. The second option, yoga and meditation. Many believe that these are able to help because it helps bring and maintain peace to one's mind and body. That is key when trying to avoid panic attacks. If the mind is at peace, then you have a better hold on your emotions and your ability to fight off an attack. The third option is getting a service dog. Now you may ask, what is a dog going to do for a panic attack? Well, it has been proven that positive physical touch can calm people down. And the dog is able to sense its owner begin to suffer from an accelerated heart rate and pretty much jumps in their lap and reassures them that they're comfortable and they have something that will always be there for them. The fourth option is seeing a doctor and getting medication prescribed. Mainly it's Prozac, Paxil, and Zoloft, just to name a few of them. And these are proven methods to help cope with panic attacks. But taking these medications are the most dangerous because many who use them can get addicted. Most of these medications release serotonin to the brain, which people fall in love with that feeling, end up getting addicted to it, which could easily tailspin out of control to other drugs in an effort to feel anything else than their fear. Along with the addiction, people can suffer from severe depression because they're fearful of their surroundings and usually stay to themselves, making them very lonely. The link between the panic and anxiety attacks has been pinpointed of being your brain wanting to dream out. So when you're asleep, it's proven that if you have depression or panic attacks, when you're sleeping, you dream 3 times more than a normal person. Meaning when you wake up, you're exhausted. So that triggers your depression because you're always tired and exhausted. Thank you, everyone, and I hope I was able to shed some light on the struggles people go through daily when dealing with panic attacks.